With this cold front that's sweeping the nation right now, I think I'd like to fade west right about now. Hey guys, it's John from Album Review TV. It's time for a review of Switchfoot's 9th studio album. Gosh, that makes me feel super old, but it's titled Fading West, preceded by the release of a film by the same name. I've seen Switchfoot live twice this year. Definitely one of my favorite groups through and through since 2003 when I discovered them with the beautiful Letdown. Anyways, getting into Fading West, the band took inspiration from just traveling all over the world to kind of explore different themes and get inspiration from other places. And it kind of reminds me of what the Fray did, or said they did with their album Scars and Stories, traveling around the world. In Switchfoot's case, it turned out that they came back and they said something that broke my heart a little bit, honestly, when I heard it. But they said that they wanted to go with a less guitar-driven sound. And listening through the album, you're probably wondering, does it show? Yes. It just kind of feels like lead guitarist Drew Shirley was kind of left out on this album a lot of the time. There's so many moments where I just want for him to just kick in with a guitar solo, but it just doesn't happen. And I miss that a whole lot. There's so many like great ideas and great themes that run throughout this record, but I feel like they could just be improved upon a little bit by adding in some of the guitars. Use the new instruments, yes. A lot of them do sound cool and fresh, but a lot of them also feel very generic and just poppy and like another rock band that kind of went down the tubes by saying, oh, let's keep our sound fresh and poppy so that more people will be interested still, and let's try and stay relevant. That's kind of what it felt like. But getting that criticism out of the way, this album is a whole lot of fun. It sounds like Switchfoot are having more fun than they've ever had in their entire lives making music. And on this album, I kind of think of it as just a sidestep that sees them exploring new territories and just, like I said, having fun, kind of cutting loose and just doing what they do best, making music and, drawing inspiration from life and surfing. Like I said, they went with a more poppy sound. It's apparent on two of the lead singles, Love Alone Is Worth the Fight and Who We Are. You can definitely see with the kind of the, oh well type themes that show up. They show up a lot, and the catchy choruses really trying to catch your ear and get stuck inside your head. It works sometimes. Who We Are gets stuck in my head a whole lot, but honestly it kind of annoys me, as that's one of my least favorites on this record. That track just, I don't know, something about it just seems off to me. It doesn't feel like Switchfoot, even though it's titled Who We Are. It kind of seems like an identity crisis. Not to say that there aren't some great lyrical moments on this record, Fading West, but things have definitely gone downhill in that department. The guitars lack, the energy is high, and the heartfelt moments are just felt much less here, and that's something that is a little heartbreaking. The band turned out some of their best work yet in 2011 with Vice Verses. It's just a little bit sad to see them making a pop rock record that isn't just up to their standards, the bars that they've set. You've got your emotionally driven tracks like The World You Want and Love Alone Is Worth the Fight, to your upbeat anthem tracks like lead single Who We Are and the extremely upbeat and catchy Let It Out, the latter being one that I see being a part of my soundtrack to the summer. It's just one that I can easily connect to and have fun with. I guess you could say what's lost in musicianship is gained in good times, feel-good vibes, and an overwhelming positive outlook on life. If nothing else, I can say that I feel really good when I listen to Fading West. Love Alone Is Worth the Fight boasts a catchy chorus, passionate lyrics, and something I'm not so keen on, the pop-styled oh well vocal samples that fly in the background and kind of drive this song. My favorite track on the album, though, would have to be Say It Like You Mean It. It's a little bit edgy, a little bit experimental, and one of my favorite Switchfoot songs of all time. Guess what? Guitars are all over the place on this track. You're not going to be missing them here, even though you probably will on the majority of the record. Fused perfectly with John Foreman's grizzly-styled vocals and some eerie synths and some stellar bass and drum combos. Tracks like The World You Want and Slipping Away feel less effective than they want to be, and All or Nothing at All is another one that feels a little bit cliche lyrically. I do enjoy the message behind the track The World You Want. Is this the world you want? You're making it every day you're alive. It just gets a little bit repetitive to me. The same with All or Nothing at All. It's been said so many times. I've heard so many songs called All or Nothing or something of that variation. When We Come Alive is special to me, especially after hearing them perform it live in Baltimore last December. It's a little bit cliche at times, especially lyrically, but it's an inspiring track, all in all. Like I said, Saltwater Heart is the track that perfectly sums up this band. I wanted to also mention that I really enjoy the symphonic elements and also the full instrumentation really used on this track and on the closing track, which is called Back to the Beginning Again. The last track I wanted to discuss is bass, stylized as BA55, like the fives or S's. I get it, clever, clever. Not here to discuss the spelling of it. I really want to talk about it just because of its awesomeness and slick style. It's called bass because it's driven almost primarily by Tim Foreman, their bassist's bass. I really love the line, "I want a fire that could burn me clean." It's just something really interesting for me to think about. I absolutely dig the groove and the dark brooding feel that this song brings. It's like looking at someone with a sinister smile and stating lines from the album. Easily one of the best tracks on Fading West and one of my personal favorites. Overall, Fading West for me is definitely grown on me a whole lot. I really did not like this album at all upon first listen, but I've heard it about 7 times now, and it's just something that I wanted to hear over and over again to really make sure I got the whole feel of the album, because when bands switch it up like that on me, I just really have to focus on, you know, letting go of kind of the past and how I feel about that and not necessarily comparing it to their past. And thank you so much to my camera for just shutting off randomly. Back to what I was saying there, is that I can't necessarily compare everything to their past work. Even though this doesn't live up, we have to take it for what it is, and that's a pretty fun pop rock record. 3.5 out of 5 for me for Fading West. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comments section down below. I know a lot of you guys are Switchfoot fans. Anyways, guys, I will see you very soon for a lot more reviews. Planning on doing Broken Bells, Young the Giant, possibly of Mice and Men, etc. Let me know if I'm missing anything, what you want me to review, and who knows, I might hit it up. Anyways, thanks for watching Album Review TV. Make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you very soon.